With a voice as wise and mighty as the title he's been bestowed, we're delighted to welcome Charleston newcomer and vocalist Courtney Williams, better known as the voice of the Navy, and Basil Kerr, director of the Charleston Concert Band. Great to have you both with us. And it's safe to say, Courtney, that you're not a countertenor.
That is safe to say, yes.
I would ask if you could give us a hint as to what your voice sounds like when you're singing, but I think we already know.
It sounds very similar to when I'm talking.
Yes, it's a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And having sung for the Navy, I'd love to get into your naval career. Mm-hmm. You're fresh to the Low Country, but you spent a lot of your time in Nashville, is that correct?
So I grew up outside of Nashville and then went to Knoxville for school, and then right after that I joined the Navy Band in Washington, D.C. and spent all of my adult life in the D.C. area until recently when I retired and moved down here to the Low Country to be a part of all the great stuff here.
Well, we're great and happy to claim you as our own now, but you have sung at presidential inaugurations. You have done many, many things with your voice. So tell us a bit more about how you utilize that gift in your naval career.
So I was with the Navy Band in Washington, D.C., where we were presidential support, and one of the primary missions of the band is conducting funerals at Arlington National Cemetery every day. But I was a vocalist and announcer, so I had the opportunity to sing for events like the National Day of Prayer and Remembrance after 9/11, for Commander Alan Shepard's memorial service in Houston, the premiere of Pearl Harbor when it premiered in Hawaii. And then the presidential inaugurations where I was the offstage announcer, the disembodied voice that you heard throughout the ceremonies.
Wow, that's incredible. All right, how thrilled were you to learn that Courtney had come to the Low Country?
Well, Courtney had come through with the Navy Band a few years ago, and we had seen him at the School of the Arts. And you can't forget the voice. Yeah. You just hear this voice and you're like, oh my gosh. So a few months back, our band president for the Charleston Concert Band, we have a website where people can apply to be a member of the band. And she said, I don't know what to do with this. This is a vocalist. And I go, well, what's her name? And she goes, his name is Courtney. And I go, Courtney Williams? And she goes, yeah. And I go, give me that phone number. I've got to call this guy because, as you can tell, his reputation is far beyond the Washington, D.C. area. And he's been so gracious to join with us. He sang with us in our concert in the fall. And of course, he's going to be singing with us at our Christmas concert on Tuesday at the chapel at the Citadel, Summerall Chapel. Yes. And of course, he's going to be singing "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." And with a voice like that, you know.
How perfect.
That's a great concert number to do.
He was born to sing it.
Right. And because of his experience and working in all these different aspects of the performance and also the things he did in Washington, D.C., he has also been very helpful to us in a support role, giving us a lot of ideas and tips on how to even up our game even more than it is.
Yeah. And how rare is having a bass voice?
It's fairly unique. You meet a lot of baritones, but very few true basses. And
do you have a wide variety of songs to choose from to sing, or how do you adjust in order to kind of be part of the whole group when it's not you as a soloist singing with that deep, rich voice? So
when I'm with a group, typically I sing the lowest part, whatever that is. Singing with an orchestra or a band like the Charleston Concert Band, I'll typically have the arranger lower everything down for me to make it a little easier.
Yeah. And now that you're in the Low Country, well, you're going to be singing just for fun and to delight the rest of the audiences here, but you still have that creative outlet where you get to sing, and you are going to be doing so at the Christmas concert that you were talking about, Basil. This is going to be Christmas at the Chapel, Tuesday, December 12th at 7:30 p.m. That's at the Summerall Chapel at the Citadel, and you're going to be singing "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch." Yeah. Could you send us to break with a few bars from that song?
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel.
Isn't that fun?
Fantastic.
We're going to have a great time at this concert on Tuesday night.
Thank you so much for indulging us. Great to have you both with us.
Thanks for having us.
We're back after this.